Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching BAM, the political vigilante, shining the truth among the citizens of Gotham. You are the smartest and most informed and best audience in the world because this is the People's Channel. You guys fund this. I don't get money from a billionaire. I don't even get money from YouTube. I've been demonetized for over 2 years. You can support our show. You can see this below streaming right there, the little ways to support our show. Patreon, Rockfin, which is blockchain cryptocurrency, and Venmo. Support what we're doing. You can also come to a live show, guys. Got a bunch of great live shows. April 22nd, our Anything Can Happen game show. You can watch it virtually. It's a live streaming show. That's April 22nd. We have two fantastic contestants. Ron Placone is my co-host. We have James Adomian. We have Senator Richard Martin. We're going to a lot of fun people going to be on the show, so that you can watch that live. That's April 22nd. And then I've got a little tour the end of April. Maui, April 27th. Kona on the Big Island, April 28th. And Honolulu, April 29th. And then Arizona, I'm coming to you in May. Phoenix, May 11th. Tucson, May 12th. Go to grahamelwood.com. So we're watching the Republican Party, which is a right-wing, neo-fascist organization, take away women's right to choose, right? And this is awful. But the thing I keep making a point of on this show is, yes, the Republicans are bad, but the Democrats have allowed them to do this over and over and over again. So this is what's just happened in the last couple of days. Trump appointed judge bans the abortion pill nationwide starting in 7 days. This came out Friday, April 7th. This is posted on Yahoo Friday evening, which happens to be Good Friday for Christians. Trump appointed federal judge and devout Texas Christian Matthew Kacsmaryk issued a ruling that effectively bans the main abortion pill nationwide. The ruling revokes the Food and Drug Administration's approval of the drug, which has been used safely since the year 2000. Effective 1 week from today, unless the federal government can successfully challenge it by then, Kacsmaryk, a rabidly anti-abortion and anti-LGBTQ lawyer before Donald Trump nominated him to a lifetime seat on the federal bench in 2019, lifetime seat, attempted to get around this criticism of withdrawing approval of the drug that was okayed over 20 years ago by blaming the FDA. He wrote that the agency stonewalled judicial review of mifepristone, or whatever, however it's spelled, by ignoring anti-abortion activist petitions contesting the drug's approval. Had the FDA responded to plaintiffs' petitions within the 360 total days allotted, the case would have been in federal court decades earlier. So that's what he wrote, right? Within hours of Kacsmaryk's decision, Biden's Department of Justice filed a notice of appeal. Once the case is in appeals, the DOJ can take it to the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, Kacsmaryk has certainly fulfilled his purpose. Anti-abortion activists strategically filed the federal lawsuit in Texas District, where Kacsmaryk is the only judge in order to ensure this outcome. So this is what this guy is doing is awful, but how did this guy get appointed? Oh man, those evil Republicans got help from the Democrats. This is from the Huffington Post on, if you'll notice down here, August 29th, 2018. Democrats just confirmed lots of Trump's judges so they could skip town. This is the Democratic Party fighting for your rights. They have let you down time and time again on any number of issues, but specifically to Roe v. Wade. So we could talk about how Democratic presidents going back to Carter could have codified Roe v. Wade and didn't. We could talk about how Ruth Bader Ginsburg could have stepped down under Obama and arrogantly said, I'm going to do it when Hillary's president. We could talk about how Hillary picked an anti-abortion Democrat, Tim Kaine, as a running mate, which turned off a lot of liberal voters. Well, I don't want a Democrat, an anti-abortion Democrat, to be a heartbeat away from the presidency. You have to think about that when who's the vice president. So I'm voting third party. This is why so many people voted for Bernie Sanders, because he's an actual lefty progressive, and they didn't want to vote for Hillary for this reason, right? Obama didn't fight to get, he could have gotten 2 conservative justices while he was in office and didn't do it, right? Then you've got this This isn't 2018. This is like, we're going to fight Trump tooth and nail. You guys did nothing. You allowed Trump to win. The Democrats allowed Trump to win in 2016. And then when he's in office, they don't even fight him. This is Huffington Post. This isn't me. This is Huffington Post. Senate Democrats just gave a huge gift to President Donald Trump. They agreed to expedite votes on 15 of his nominees to lifetime federal court seats because they wanted to go home. Boy, there he is. There's Chucky the Shoom fighting hard for us. Oh, they fight the Republicans so hard. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell had lined up votes for all those district court nominees last week. Normally, Senate rules require up to 30 hours of waiting time for each nominee, something Democrats typically take advantage of to delay action on confirming Trump judges, right? But Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat from New York, cut a deal with McConnell on Tuesday to bypass the wait times and let them all get through. Why? So Democrats could get back to campaigning and focusing on winning re-election in November. You know what helps getting reelected? Passing bills or blocking bills that your constituents, Democratic voters, want. Democratic voters want the protection of Roe v. Wade. The Republican Party has been very clear on this issue for 50 years. For 50 years, the Republican Party has said, we want to repeal Roe v. Wade. Since its inception in the 70s, we want to repeal it, get rid of it, we're done with it. Republicans have been very honest with you. The Democrats lie to you. The Republicans lie about other things. They're filthy parasites too. But I just want liberals to really listen to what I'm saying to you. When you tell me the Republicans are so evil, we got to vote for Democrats. Well, you voted for Democrats. Look what happened. So even when they had a chance to block Trump, they wouldn't do it. So when they tell you got to vote Democrat, you got to vote blue, right? And they're sending out all these emails. The Republicans are attacking. This is what they do. This is how they fight for you, is they fold so they can go campaign, because campaigning means ding, money. Oh, you got to get donations. When you're actually in office, don't block horrible legislation. Don't allow right-wing judges to get voted in. Block them tooth and nail, because if you let them in, you know what they're going to do? Maybe 5 years later, they're going to pass horrible bills like just happened. Oh, it's weird. There's like consequences to your behavior. See, if you don't block them, Democrats, then this is what, here we are 5 years later. Women are losing their rights. Thanks, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and everybody else in there. Now, the squad hadn't been voted in yet, but what have they done? How effective are they? 6 of the 15 nominees, 6 were confirmed by voice votes on Tuesday. Another was confirmed on a recorded vote. The remaining 8 will get quick votes next week. It's a major win for Trump and McConnell, whose number one priority is filling up federal courts with conservative judges, many of whom are incredibly anti-abortion, anti-LGBTQ rights, and anti-voting rights. Trump has gotten 62 circuit court judges confirmed, more than any other president at this point in his term. What's Biden doing? Another way of putting it, 1 in 7 U.S. circuit seats is now filled by a judge nominated by Trump. 1 in 7. Oh, it's a Democrats fighting hard for you. Add that Trump put Neil Gorsuch on the Supreme Court and poised to get another justice through, Brett Kavanaugh, which we know he eventually gets through. And you've got a president drastically reshaping the nation's courts for generations. Some progressives are furious that Democrats just handed more judges to Trump, particularly given recent revelations implicating the president in federal crimes. It would have taken only one Democratic senator to say no to letting the nominees through this week. None did. One Democratic senator could have stood for something, even for the cynical, like, if I'm going to stand for this, and I'll get a lot of press and it'll help with my donations and getting reelected. Even if it was just for that, they wouldn't even do that. Like, no one was in their ear going, look, you weasel, Chuck Schumer, if just fight this, just resist this. and you'll get some support. And they can't even do that. They can't. I don't think any of them have any sort of moral or ethical compass. None of them. No Republican or Democrat has a moral or ethical compass. They're all parasites, but they won't fight for anything. They just needed one. There was not one Democratic senator in 2018 that had a spine. Not one. Not one. Trading this many lifetime positions away for a couple of days back home in the dead of August is a metaphor for how myopic the Democrats' approach has been at this dark moment in history. I could not have said that I'll read that again. This is from Brian Fallon, who awkwardly was previously Schumer's chief spokesperson. Trading this many lifetime positions away for a couple of days back home in the dead of August is a metaphor for how myopic, which myopic means like tunnel vision, the Democrats' approach has been at this dark moment in history. He is now executive director of Demand Justice. So this guy worked for Chuck Schumer and went, oh, Schumer stands for nothing. The Democratic Party is a whorehouse that stands for nothing. It's just a different color. It's the blue whorehouse. The Republicans are the red whorehouse. Republicans are soulless whores, and so are the Democrats. But keep voting. Just vote harder. See what happens when you just vote any Democrat. And then people say to me, Graham, what's the solution? Stop giving the Democrats your votes and money. Tell them we're not voting for you because you guys do nothing when you get in there. Hold them accountable. Where's the squad? I mean, this is before the squad got voted in, but even in today, the squad, what do they do? Where are they? What did the Democrats do? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. Vote third party. I don't know. They never win. Yeah, because none of you vote for them. The third parties don't win because you go, they can't win. And then you just give your suckers vote to the Democrats. If more liberals stopped voting for the Democrats and voted third party, maybe, I don't know. Or if you paid attention in the primaries and voted for the progressive in the Democratic primary, running against the corporate Democratic incumbent, maybe if you fought for stuff like ranked choice voting or whatever, or open primaries. An entire branch of government is being lost for generations. In the coming months and years, these same Democrats will issue outraged statements about the rulings issued by the very judges they could not be bothered to slow down. It's pathetic. This guy called it. And what's happening today? All these Democrats are wringing their hands and begging for your money. You're going to get emails and phone calls if you haven't already, begging now that this bill, the Texas judge, a Trump appointed judge, they let this happen. This guy called this in 2018. He said, here's what's going to come in the next couple months and years. Here we are 5 years later, little less than 5 years. This is April of 2023. So this is August of 2018. And we're just about a little less than 5 years ago. And this is what's happening. But delaying action on Trump's judges is one of the few ways Democrats can do something to push back on his agenda. They could have caused more trouble for McConnell by requiring recorded votes too, since it takes 51 votes to advance any judicial nominee. You fight tooth and nail. So we're not letting these. You better have a less conservative judge come through. McConnell was a master. Mitch McConnell was a master of delaying action on judicial nominees under President Obama. Democrats, remember when they said, we're going to just block everything Obama does? We're going to just block everything. And then the Democrats, when they have a position to block, don't. McConnell leaned on every procedural tool in the book to delay or deny votes to Obama's court picks, including, of course, denying a confirmation hearing for Supreme Court nominee Merrick Garland. Progressive groups desperately want Democrats to play a similar game of hardball, but it hasn't happened because they're weak. The Democrats are weak. Requiring the full amount of process and debate on every judge helps slow things down to prevent the worst of the Trump judges from speeding through down the line. Yeah. Adam Jetson, a top aide of former Senator Harry Reid, who preceded Schumer as minority leader before 2017, said the problem comes down to leadership. Wow. And the mainstream media didn't talk about this at all. And then look what's happened recently. This was last year. Pelosi defends backing anti-abortion. This is from May of last year, May of 2022. Remember when they first leaked the SCOTUS leak, they were going to get rid of Roe v. Wade, and then they actually did. Pelosi defends backing anti-abortion Representative Henry Cooler, saying he's a valued member of our caucus and they didn't need him to codify Roe v. Wade. He was running against someone that AOC backed, kind of fakey progressive AOC. And Henry Cooler, in addition to being an anti-abortion Democrat, which how are you anti-abortion in the Democratic Party? Also had an FBI investigation and his stance up against abortion. She said he's a valued member of our caucus and that his vote is in need to protect abortion rights. Cooler faces a stiff primary challenge from Jessica Kernos, a progressive abortion rights supporter. So thanks, Democrats, for letting Texas go full Handmaid's Tale. But good work, guys. Really? Boy, that's the Democratic Party fighting for you guys. So when you keep voting for them and keep giving them your money, this is what they do. They stand for nothing. Mitch McConnell and the Republicans fought Obama tooth and nail. And the Democrats cut a deal. It's unbelievable. Nancy Pelosi, Henry Cooler is an important part of our community. She's just eating ice cream. The Republicans don't care about average Americans, workers' rights, but they care about the religious right, and they fight for the religious right. That faction of the conservative party, of the Republican Party, they do anything for them. And the Democrats view progressives as this like rogue bunch of troublemakers. The Republican Party will buckle for the evangelical, the Christian right. They will buckle for them at every turn. Even if they don't believe in them, they'll buckle for them at every turn. And the Democratic Party won't buckle because, and then once progressives get inside the Democratic Party, like the squad or the 100-member progressive caucus in Congress, they do nothing. They fight for nothing. They stand for nothing. I mean, hats off to those two state legislatures in Tennessee that, were like, we're not leaving the floor of the state Senate in Tennessee until we get real gun legislation happening. And they got kicked out. They're standing for something. They're standing for something. And the Republican Party of Tennessee is a bunch of crybaby bitches. But you won't see those two types of, those are state legislatures. You won't see that on the federal level by a Democrat. No way. Look at the squad. They're the best example. They came in there and I thought, okay, here we go. The squad, they're going to really fight. They're going to fight the Democratic establishment. AOC is going to go head to head with Pelosi. Buckles, boom, mama bear. They do nothing. They stand for nothing. If you give the Democrats your money, you're a sucker. You're better off buying Bitcoin. Or even a lottery ticket. A lottery ticket is more outlandish. Bitcoin will actually help you in the long run. Yeah. Someone in the chat just put, no, the Democrats stand for Nazis in Ukraine. I stand corrected. They stand for Nazis in Ukraine and the military-industrial complex and Wall Street bailouts, just like the Republicans do. You ever notice that's when the two parties have bipartisan? Wall Street bailouts, both parties come together. The war budget, bipartisan support. Then it doesn't matter who controls the House or the Senate, Republican, Democrat, because they'll both on board for more war. It's unbelievable to watch this. And liberals fall for this time and time and time again. They're suckers. They're just suckers. They fall for this time and time and time and time and time again. It's unbelievable. This is, again, I just showed you an article from Huffington Post, not some crazy lefty out Huffington Post is not very lefty. Yeah, I know. And what's happening in France right now? Millions of people are taking to the streets saying, hell no. They don't want an extra 2 years added to their work life before. It's just, America, they're taking away 10 times worse things than an extra 2 years. They just moved they're trying to move the retirement age in France from 62 to 64, which it's kind of a big deal, but there's things here that we're losing. Our rights are being taken away. We don't have health care. I mean, it's mind-boggling how much we're getting screwed over. And the French are like, no. The yellow vest thing 4 years, it was 4 years ago. That was because of like a 50-cent tax on cabs passing a bridge or something like it was a toll. And they were like, hell no. Americans just keep taking it and taking it and taking it and taking it. And then they blame this side of that. And when liberals sit there and blame the Republican Party, you're a sucker. The Republicans are evil. They tell you they're evil right to your face. But then the Democrats are worse. I don't understand this. I personally, this is just, I guess this is why I'm a crazy lefty outlier here on YouTube. I have more respect for someone that gets in my face and says, Graham, I don't like you. F you. The hell with you. You're unfunny. You're stupid. You're dumb. I don't like you. I know where I stand with this person. All right, I don't like this guy. I don't like him. And anytime I see him, I know he's the enemy, right? That, at least, while I don't like that, at least I know where I stand with that person, rather than the person comes out, Graham, your buddy, I got your back, man. I love you. We've been bros for years. And then they're doing shit behind my back. Like, that's a weasel. That's the Democratic Party. Like, it's unbelievable. It's, people keep falling for it. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. If you keep giving your money to the Democratic Party, they're going to keep folding for the Republicans. They stand for nothing. For nothing. The Democrats actually fought for you. Roe v. Wade would have been codified decades ago, and this wouldn't even be an issue. Trump never would have been president. The Democrats allowed Trump to happen. And after all the corruption of the 2016 primary, the Democrats did nothing to revamp their system, because the Democrats are there to feed the ruling elites, just like the Republicans. Never forget that. Never forget that this duopoly is a scam. It's professional wrestling, guys. It's the Washington Generals, the team that plays the Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's theater. It's theater. And in the 2024, I told you this would happen. I mean, there's videos you can go back and watch of me saying if Biden becomes president, he'll do very little, and they'll let the Republicans do all this evil stuff, because this is what the battle cry will be for 2024. We just got to stop these evil Republicans. We'll just let the Republicans do evil shit, so then we as Democrats don't have to actually do anything. We don't have any policies or platforms. We won't fight for you in the Congress or the Senate. We won't do anything, but we'll just say, you got to vote for us because we're not as bad as them. The evidence is there from Chuck Schumer's former press secretary. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth, you guys, and shave your knuckles for justice. And go to GrahamElwood.com, sign up for our newsletter. You get a free smoothie recipe. And we got a bunch of shows coming up in April and May. Go to GrahamElwood.com. We'll see you there. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/GrahamElwood or rockfin.com/GrahamElwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood, and go to grahamelwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.